Hi, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And we are
Conbini Cult, featuring Satsuki.
We have another guest today. And who are you? How'd you get
come from? My name is Satsuki. I'm a singer-songwriter originally from Sydney, Australia, but I live in Osaka, Japan at the moment.
Nice.
Yay, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So how long, just to jump into it, I guess, thank you for coming today. How long have you been in Osaka doing music?
In Osaka, I think 8 years now.
Oh.
I know. I wasn't planning to be here for so long.
What?
But I think that's
all.
I think that's all foreigners.
Yeah, like, actually, 8 years.
Yeah.
That's us, too.
Yeah, we're both 8 years, too.
We're all 8 years.
I think everyone's like, oh, yeah, I'll just be here for like 3 years. And then it's like 10 years later.
So it was just kind of naturally you caught yourself staying here for longer than expected?
I think so. Like, I didn't think I would enjoy Japan this much, or like, I think I would just like miss home so much that I was just like, I need to go home. Mm-hmm. But then it was like 2 or 3 years and then it was Corona. And then, I don't know, everyone's plans got fucked up for that. So, yeah. But now it's like 8 years.
Yeah. Do you have any plans to go back to Sydney? Or?
Eventually, definitely. But in terms of music, I don't think there's, for me, a lot of like, I don't know, motivation to go back there for music specifically.
Why? Yeah.
Because I think I'm trying not to be like very condescending or anything, but Australia has a really good like music scene, but because we are so big, we're like the same size as America, but we have a population of like 21 million, which is like nothing, right? And so our music scene is very condensed, like it's all just in little parts. So it's like difficult to, I guess, sustain being a musician there in Australia, I think, because we have such a small population that we end up kind of going overseas anyway.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask that eventually, but
oh, sorry.
No. But could we get some background on like why did you want to become a musician? How did you even start?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think I've always been interested in music. I think my family's always been, I don't know, we all listen to music. We all went to like karaoke and all that kind of stuff. I used to learn the cello because my sister really liked a piece, like a cello piece. From like a Japanese drama or something. And then she started to learn cello. And then, of course, I'm the little sibling. So I'm like, I want to learn cello too. And then every Asian kid always learns piano also. So.
I was going to say, those are like very Asian instruments for you to
And
learn.
so, yeah, we all played piano and cello. And then, but I was young. So I was like, I don't know what classical music is. I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. And then I was like, I want to play like Katy Perry and like Michael Bublé. And so Michael Bublé, the range is crazy. I think Michael Bublé was probably the first song I ever learned because it was like really easy chords. So I was like, I want to learn guitar. And then I think acoustic guitar is like a bit of like a big hurdle just because the strings are much harder and all that kind of stuff. So my dad got me an electric guitar and then I learned on that and I was like, yay. And then eventually it just like started busking. Like, so I was like, no, I can make money doing this.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, and
it was a fuck ton of money.
Really? How old were you?
I will get there.
Okay. I will
get there.
So no,
it's okay. Yeah. And then at school, like I had a bunch of like muso friends as well. And then in Australia in year 11 and 12, we have something called HSC, Higher School Certificate or something like that. And we get to choose our subjects. And I was like, okay, we have to do English. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do maths. And then it was like photography or something like that. And they had like biology in there. And then my art teacher was like, why are you doing biology? And I was like, I don't know. So she was like, you can do music. And I was like, oh. I was like, I didn't think that was an option.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never like kind of, besides cello, I never had like formal like lessons about music. So I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. And then, so yeah, I like started singing and play guitar. And then I was also in church as well, which is a whole nother separate thing. Yeah, busking was like a huge thing. I started just playing guitar and vocals just like without an amp or a microphone. But then my church leader was like, if you get an amp, like you can get a fuck ton of money. Nice. And I was like, okay. So I eventually got an amp and a mic and I got quite a good amount of money. because I don't know. I think we had just like so much. It's like different now, but they had like so much spare change. Everyone would just like dump their like train money and stuff like that, or like their change in the thing, and then I would just go to the bank and just like convert it all. And then a bunch of my other friends were like, "Hey, can we busk with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah!" And so we had like a horn player and like another guitar player, and then every weekend we would just go busking and just like make our money for the week.
Okay.
And then that's kind of the start of it, really. So around like 15, 16, I was like playing music.
Nice. But you're still, so young. High school is kind of like young, right? And you're already making all of this money. What are you doing with that money, Because
are you investing?
Are you like, I mean, like,
Bitcoins? No.
because like a lot of musicians, like, maybe, there's people who get into it for the money or whatever. But at that age, it's kind of like, are you getting reckless? And you're like, ooh, I've got so much money
absolutely.
to spend.
Well, it was just this freedom of like,
or,
everyone had like formal, like, had like jobs, and we were just like playing music for like 4 hours, and we would just like make the money for the week. I mean, we weren't paying rent and all that kind of stuff, so we were just, I don't know. And Australia's very expensive anyway, so it was just probably just like food and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of it. So we weren't doing anything reckless.
Nice.
But just like, I don't know, like food and going out and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. So for a long time then, and sorry to backtrack a little bit, you said the only formal lessons you had were for cello. So are you self-taught with guitar?
Yeah, guitar. I was like, okay, this is this, and then this is that, and then that was it for guitar. And I eventually went to university for music, but that was much later. So I was just like, okay, this is an F chord, sweet.
So you're kind of basically self-taught. And how about vocal lessons? Did you take any vocal lessons?
Vocal
or did that
lessons?
come naturally to you?
Yeah, I didn't take it till probably the HSC when we get assessed for like music. So I was like, I better be kind of serious about this. So I went to like the local, I don't know, music school, and they had like vocal lessons, and started doing that. Yeah.
So very natural to you then.
I guess.
God has favorites, I guess. I don't know. As someone who's like tone deaf, I'm like, Ina, okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Everyone in my family, everyone has like a good sense of pitch, I guess. Well, not like Mariah Carey, but
no whistle notes.
No whistle tones, but like, we can hold a tune, I guess.
Nice.
I don't think I ever understood people who couldn't when I was younger.
Okay, we'll talk about that later, I guess.
No.
I see.
But I understand, like, now being in music, I was just like, like people don't recognize pitch and tune, and that's like something that needs to be taught.
Yeah. Well, there's like different learners. And that's why I asked if you took any lessons and stuff, because my dad is a musician, but he can't read music. He's all, by like pitch and everything too, so he can play by ear. Yeah. Which it sounds like you're kind of mostly with that
similar,
in the beginning too. Yeah. So
okay, prove it. Play us a song.
name one song right now.
Name one song right now.
Yeah. I see. Oh, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could do something. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Frankie's a good singer.
I don't have perfect pitch.
Like, I would know the difference. I don't know.
Okay, I need Satsuki to assess me.
Can you as a person recognize if someone is out of pitch? Like,
okay.
Sure.
Well, that's different then.
Yeah,
because at least you can
recognizing it and then making it is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, different.
It's kind of frustrating too, because you know what the note is or what it's supposed to sound like, and then you think you're producing it. At least I think I'm like singing it. And then one time, my dad, again a musician, he was like trying to practice, I don't know, a verse or something on the guitar. So he's like, you sing. So I just want to like play this one verse. I was like, okay, trying to like sing very seriously. And then he goes, why can't any of my kids hold a tune? And that was the day I just kind of stopped. Yeah, like got my ass, like stopped singing in front of my dad ever. So I'm like very self-aware.
That's depressing. I mean, vocals are a muscle, like some people can naturally do the splits, and I can't. I can barely reach my toes. So it's all just it's stretching. You just have to get there.
That's true. And what would you describe your genre of music?
I mean, this is like the hardest like question for me, because I don't know, because I like so much different genres, my music tends to reflect that as well. So like my first one was like, I don't know, kind of pop, electro, and then I had like a rock punk song, and then I had like hyper pop songs, and then I had like new metal songs and all that kind of stuff. I once did an interview with a person who was just like, Satsuki doesn't conform to genders or genres. And I was like, hell yeah, that's like a sick title.
Nice.
But unfortunately in the music industry, that is kind of a hard like thing to market. Like genre is like a very,
Really?
very specific. Like it's just like, hey, so what kind of music do you do? It's like the fastest way to know someone as a musician, as an artist. So it's like electropop, I guess. Like that would probably be the very broad genre.
Squeaky chair.
Yeah, probably the most broad genre for me.
Yeah. So I guess because I've listened to a lot of your songs, and some are very like slow, and moody, and then for example, Miss You is also very like electronic. Poppy, I guess you would describe it. And so does it depend on your mood that you're going through too? Then that you have these different genres you work with.
Definitely. I mean, I think Miss You was like very when the hyperpop thing was like kind of going off, which was like 20. I don't know, when did I write that song? I don't know, like 2022-ish, I think. I think with like the death of Sophie and stuff like that, I think that became like super aware of like what hyperpop was. And so I think a lot of people were listening to that. So I think I was just probably listening to a lot of that. And I was like, yeah, I want to make something like this. So it's really dependent on what I was listening to at that point. It's less so mood, I think. It's less so like what I'm experiencing. Because even if things are sad, doesn't mean I'll make a slow song. It'll just mean like it's hyper, but it's sad. Yeah. I like to describe my music as like crying in the club. Like you're just like yeah, but I'm just like, oh, so sad. Like that kind of vibe. Yeah, literally.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, very dependent on what I'm listening to, which is not a lot. I don't listen to like a fuck ton of music, even though I should. But I'm just like the same 5 songs.
What are some of the songs you're listening to now?
I'm like right now I'm really into K-pop. So I'm just like listening to a lot of K-pop. And then Cat's Eye and like New Jeans, obviously. Yeah, a lot of that. And then just like the oldies, like 2000s, like, I don't know, like Brandy and like, all that kind of stuff. Neo.
Neo is kind of like crying in the club a little bit.
Yeah, club.
Okay, nice.
So coming to Japan, I'm like...
Yeah.
Because if you're watching this, like, it looks like I'm leaning away from them, like, ew. But no, I'm just trying to get closer to the mic. But so coming to Japan, then how did you even get started with, like, booking gigs and stuff?
This is a bit of a funny story. My first gig was, I think I came in 2018, January. And then my first ever gig was in April. And my mum really liked this boy band called V6, and her and a bunch of friends that she had met at lives and stuff like that, they wanted to learn a dance of one of their songs, and so one of the ladies knew like a dance teacher. I think they were learning like salsa or flamenco or something like that, but they could do any genre of dance. And then one of the ladies couldn't come at one of the weeks, and my mum was like, do you want to come? And I was like, okay. So I learned this dance. And then coincidentally, the teacher at that time, she was holding like a cabaret night. She does a lot of like, I don't know, like aerial hoops and like fire performances and all that kind of stuff. And then she was like, oh, we're actually looking for like a singer for the night. And I was like, okay. And so like, yeah, so in April, I did that. That was my first ever gig. And then in October, I auditioned for this busking project called Music Busker in Umekita. Because in Japan, you can't legally busk because of space and noise restrictions.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask about that too.
Yeah, but this project specifically, they were like, you can busk in these like certain spots legally. But the way to get into that is like, you first have to fill out a form and then be like, this is my type of music. And then you get selected for that, and then you get, I think it's like 10 or 12 people, like you audition, and then within those people, they get selected.
Just to busk?
Just to busk.
It's very Japanese.
Very Japanese.
If it didn't involve paperwork.
When in Australia, it's like, when in Australia, you just like, if you were to do it legally, you would just fill out a form and be like, this is what I do. And then you get specific councils and stuff like that. I don't know what it's like in the States.
Wait, do they tax the money that you make busking? Or is it not for money?
You're like,
very good question, because I haven't really claimed that.
Yeah.
Not too sure about that. So yeah, in Japan, I passed that audition, and then I was able to busk. But then that was like a whole learning curve as well, because busking here is so different. It's not very like street performance in the way that like, oh, I'm passing by and like, oh, cool, there's like a person performing. You just like, because Japanese people are so like shy and polite, they don't stay, or like they're just like, okay, yeah, cool. But staying means that you have an interest, and then if you have an interest, they're like, oh, maybe I should like, I need to talk to them or something like that. So they don't usually stay. Whereas like in Australia, I would just like busk for like 4 hours straight, and then people would just like put in money that like in between songs, they would just be like, hey, like nice voice, like that's awesome, blah, blah, blah. And I did that the first time, and like no one like stopped or anything or gave me money, which is also a whole nother thing of like charity. I think it's very not like the vibe here. Yeah. And so what I figured out is like do like 3 songs, have a break to like for people to come up to you and talk to you and like sell your, again, I have to make CDs, I have to sell like, I don't know, stickers and stuff like that, actual like physical merch, instead of me giving them a flyer in Australia. I would just be like, hey, just check out my music, and they would. But then, I don't know, Japanese people love physical things. So they're like, I want to buy a CD, I want to buy this and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like 3 songs, take a break, 3 songs, like, and then just continue that for like 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, that was my start is this cabaret night and then the busking thing, which has been. Yeah.
So going back to merch, I saw you talking about it in another interview about, how Japan really favors like physical merchandise. Has that like worked in your favor? Do you really like that aspect of Japan, or has it been kind of a learning curve, would you say?
I like it.
Okay.
Because I guess in this streaming age, we don't, as artists, we don't get anything. We don't like, unless you're streaming millions,
right?
We don't get any money. My last like royalty thing was like 0.03 cents, and I was like, sick. Yeah. Whereas if someone buys a CD, it's 1,000, 2,000 yen, which is like $20 or whatever, and that goes directly to me, which is nice, better than 0.03 cents. Yeah. So that's cool. I think that's really cool. I think we should keep doing physical merch, goes straight to the artist and all that kind of stuff. I think making the stuff is a bit tedious, but I think it pays off in the end. Okay. I quite like it.
Yeah. And on top of those differences, do you have a preference? You already mentioned that Japanese people, when they watch live music, they're very, I don't know what you call attentive.
Yeah, that's a very good word.
They're very quiet in a good, respectful way, but sometimes maybe depending on the artist, it can be too quiet because you like them to sing along, versus in other places, like it's loud, right?
It can be hard to like hype up the crowd.
Yeah.
If you want that kind of energy.
Definitely. So I think that's kind of difficult because I have pretty like upbeat songs. So I think they're supposed to be kind of listened standing up. Whereas a lot of gigs that I go to, they have seats and stuff, so they're listened sitting down. And what Japanese people will do, they'll clap. Like they'll clap in time. Sometimes not in time, and they're looking at you. They're not talking to anyone, which can be when I first experienced it, it was very intimidating. I was like, whoa! Like when I first saw a gig in Japan, I could hear the band tune, and I was like, whoa, this is too quiet. I was like, what's going on? Is no one liking the gig? What was happening? But no, it's just it's a way of respect and like talking through a gig. If you do think about it, it's kind of disrespectful. But it's like, I think we see lives or performances in kind of the West as a socializing like event, rather than like, it's like, yeah, go see a band, but also have a drink, like catch up with my friends, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Whereas in Japan, it's like, I'm going for this thing.
For that person.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, like not a lot of, in my circle specifically, not a lot of like youth are involved. It's a little bit more like the older men and older women who are enjoying it. So they, especially older men, they're alone. And so they're just like, yeah, I'm watching this person. And so what was the question?
I guess, how did you navigate it? Yeah, how do you feel about it? Right. I didn't really ask you a question. I just realized.
At first I was like, this is uncomfortable. And I was like, please talk while I tune. And I'm like, doing. Yeah. But now I'm just so used to it. I'm just like, it's fine. This is the way. And it's not awkward for them, so it's not awkward for me.
Okay.
So it's all good.
So you've learned to adapt to
I've learned
both,
to adapt.
You're okay with both versions.
Yeah,
now.
definitely. I think I've heard like a lot of like metal bands really enjoy like touring Japan and stuff because it's very what's the word? Like it's
collective,
all collective.
Kind of,
yeah. Whereas the West are much more individualistic, and so they're like, this is the way I'm enjoying things. Whereas Japan is like, this is how we're going to enjoy this gig. So a lot of metal is just like, yeah, cool. Like the mosh pits are like sick, and you know the death circles are sick, and like they're all like banging on time and stuff like that. So that's cool, I think. But then sometimes I think they're like, oh, it's quiet. They don't like me. Like some artists must think that. Like I think I saw some footage of Billie Eilish. I think she was in Tokyo.
Yeah,
and
recently,
then,
right?
Yeah,
in August
recently.
This year.
Yeah, and then all the comments are like, why is everyone so quiet? Like, why isn't everyone singing along?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is the way Japanese people enjoy it. Like, I want to hear Billie Eilish sing. I don't want to hear you sing.
That's true, especially foreign artists like Billie Eilish. A lot of her songs, are meant to be heard, and like, so I'm sure she appreciates it. Yeah. Have you ever seen that video of Lorde where she's shushing the crowd? You don't do that?
I love that because she's doing like a whole a cappella thing and everyone's like, yeah. And she's like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's a really fun part about Japan is we can be quiet. Like I've been to like a Tokyo Dome concert, which is like 50,000 people. And, the people are talking and you just hear them talking. You don't hear anyone else talking, which is like 50,000 people. Yeah. Like in the West, that would just be unthinkable. Yeah. It's not possible.
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible. Like the whole Beyonce trend, where she's like, look around, everybody on mute,
and then you have to be quiet.
And you have to be quiet. Everyone's like, woo! Yeah. At least one person's like, woo! And it was like, fuck. In Japan, I think that would be very easy.
Yeah. One thing I realized after watching, live performances in Japan, I really love going to live shows of Japanese artists, like even by myself or with a friend or whatever. But I feel kind of uncomfortable for the Western artists that comes. Because I've been to a couple where, who is it? Like Chance the Rapper or Sam Smith and stuff. You can tell they're getting frustrated at the fact that no one is like, I wouldn't say vibing. Like I know the Japanese people are having a good time, but that's their way of having the good time is listening to you. And they were like,
they're like, hello?
Getting frustrated.
Yeah. I think especially rap, I think would be a very like, weird thing to witness if they're all just like looking at you.
To be fair, I mean, if we're going to bring like language barrier into it, I don't know how many Japanese people can rap.
That's true.
All of their songs anyway. So
yeah, I think, if the Western artists do understand, they've toured a few times, I think they would respect it. But I think if it was their first time and they didn't understand the culture, I think they'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah. I think Germany's quite similar as well, I've heard.
That in terms of you sit and you listen?
Yeah, you sit and then you listen. They're like, Germany sucks. And like,
it sounds very German.
No, it's just, I know. Germany and Japan have like very similar, I think, cultures in that kind of way.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes feel a bit sorry, especially kind of like festivals and stuff, like Summer Sonic I've been and stuff like that. But even then, I think Japanese people get really into it because it is a festival, but it is very different to the West.
You know how Japanese people are very, I guess, choreographed or coordinated when it comes to certain songs, especially for idol groups
like
or whatever.
Fan chants.
Yeah, fan chants, or they have like a certain way you swing the towel.
Yeah.
Do you have a song where, I guess, I don't know, the Japanese fans know like, oh, it's my time?
I actually recently, the first time I did it, because I was like, none of my songs require like choreography of any kind, or like
you gotta change.
You gotta make one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I recently performed at Minami Wheel, which is like a South by Southwest like inspired music festival in Osaka, in the south of Osaka. It's like 20 venues, 3 days. It's like over like 400 artists or something like that. And then one of my friends was like, "Oh, I really like Uh-Oh. It's like a good towel throwing song, like tempo wise." And I was like, "Oh, I've never really thought about that." And then so the first time ever, I was just like, "Hey, for this song, can you like swing your towels?" Yeah. And everyone did it. So I guess I have one.
Yay!
Where we're swinging towels.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really.
How'd you like the vibe of that?
It was good.
Did you like it?
It was good. I was like, we're feeling like one. Like it felt like,
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Very
we're all
easy to
collectively
see.
enjoying this.
Nice.
Yeah, because I think because my songs are a bit more kind of, I don't know, Western inspired. I think getting the groove of some of my songs is a bit difficult because I think Japanese people love to clap on 1 and 3. And I'm like, no, 2 and 4. Yeah, it's a bit difficult. And I want people to kind of groove with their bodies more than their, clapping and stuff. But I think the towel throwing is pretty good.
Yeah. So you said a lot of your songs are kind of like more Western vibe, but you sing in Japanese,
Yes.
and in English as well. Is your first language Japanese or English?
I
Or
don't know. I can't remember.
Almost at the same time.
Probably the same time. I remember in kindergarten being a little bit more... I remember going to ESL class.
Oh, okay.
Which was like a weird thought to have.
Yeah.
Weird. I was just like, oh yeah, I used to do that. So I guess I knew more Japanese, which makes more sense when you're like 5 because that's all I was listening to at home. And then it was just like English. There wasn't a lot of Japanese people like in my area or like in my circle. In Sydney, it's like not a lot of Japanese people, or they all kind of go back to Japan. So I didn't have a lot of Japanese friends to like practice my Japanese. So I guess, yes, first initially Japanese, but then it was like most like 99% English.
So a lot of your recent songs have Japanese in them. Is that because you're pursuing music in Japan now? And so it's kind of match where you're at?
Yeah, 100%. Like
I see.
I never thought I would write songs in Japanese.
Yeah. What's that process like? Is it faster, slower than in English? Or what's your creative process?
I think it's much slower, but there are things where I'm just like, oh, I can't express this in English. I don't know how to do that. Nice. And then vice versa, obviously. But yeah, I think I was just like, I am in Japan, so I should probably cater to Japanese people so they can listen to my music. And understand the lyrics. So yeah, but I was really not confident at the start because I was like, I didn't want to write lyrics that didn't mean anything or were kind of, I don't know, shallow. But I was like, no, that's an excuse. I just have to like just do it. And so I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everything has to have a deeper meaning.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it can just be fun.
Art is just art.
Have you ever heard of "Come on, baby, America"? Not everything has to have meaning.
Exactly.
I guess.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like that's just my ego talking. I need to write songs in Japanese. Yeah.
Nice.
So if it's okay to ask, how do you make a living? Like, are you living comfortably, or are you a starving artist? It seems like I'm money obsessed because I asked about investing, but I'm just curious.
I live with my mom, so I don't really have to think about rent, which is a big privilege of mine. I think most of probably my income comes from. Well, I also do teach English on the side, as all foreigners do. Probably probably merch and lives, I think. And it's also very dependent on how many people I bring in the lives.
Oh.
Yeah. That's also like a different thing about Japan and the West, I think, is the prices are really high. Like in Japan. Like I think a casual gig in Australia could be free, could be like $5, $10 maybe. Whereas in Japan, they're a little bit more formal, and so they're like 2,500 yen to like 3,500, and then if you're holding like a one man, which is like a solo gig, they can be up to like 4,000 or 5,000 yen depending. And so through that, the venue gets like a certain percentage, and then the amount of people you bring as well is all dependent on that. Right. So yeah, and then like I think all tickets come with like a +1 drink. So you have to order a drink.
Right.
And then I think the venue gets money out of that as well.
That's true. I think, that main difference in the West, for example, if you're seeing even a small artist, it's more like something to do almost to pass the time. Like, I don't know this person. Like, let's go check out this show. Totally. Versus when you're here to see a specific artist in Japan, you are there for them.
Yes.
Like you are going to pay that entrance fee, that drink fee, and then merch after. Like, you know, a lot of people really buy merch as well. So yeah, it's a lot more, I guess, supportive of the artist, I think. If that's how you feel. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about Japan is no matter how niche your interests are, there will be a group for it. Yeah. If you think of it, it's going to be there. You'll find your people. And so that happens with like indie artists, I think. Just there will be a dedicated, you know, fans that might also fund your lifestyle. Yeah. Which I know of. And they like buy them like amps and guitars, or like they'll give them money for the rent or something. And I'm like, I wish I was at that level. That'd be sick. Yeah. But alas, most things come from live performances, I think. Yeah, because I think in Australia, I'm trying to think. Like some venues pay you to play, or you just like don't really get any money. Period. Mm-hmm. Whereas in Japan, you will always get some sort of compensation, I think, depending. Oh,
okay. Yeah. So that like struggling musician mentality isn't as big.
I guess. I mean, like if you're not popular, I guess maybe you wouldn't get a bunch, but like you can still, I don't know, people do like live streams and stuff, and that gives them money. And I know, I think most of my friends all have second jobs to support their lifestyle, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yes and no. It can be, you can be a struggling musician. You don't have to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So have you ever thought like, I gotta just put down the guitar and find something with more stable income? Or
yeah, I definitely do that. I definitely think of that, but sometimes I'm like, I can't really do anything else. Like I can, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what, you know, is so beautiful about pursuing your art. Is that you just still have a passion for it, and like you don't want to quit it. Right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, pursuing your passion means that it fucks with your ego as well and your self-esteem and all that. You know, if you're just like working a corporate job, I mean, I think that would also like, you know, damage your self-esteem if you're like not doing a good job, or like, you know, someone's like being a dick about it. But yeah, like it's all like the creative process is such like an ego death like all the time that I'm just like, oh God, like who am I and what am I doing, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of an existential crisis every now and then, but the ability to even pursue that is like such a privilege. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it is nice, you know, you have like family support, you get to live at home at least and everything.
No, definitely. I think my family being supportive is like a huge plus, because I know a few friends, especially Asian friends, whose parents are like, you can't do that. Like, that's not a job.
Really? And so did they pursue other careers?
Some, I don't know. I know a guy who pursued music and his parents like disowned him. Which is, I'm less like, it's not that serious, is it? Like,
Japanese guy.
I think he was Chinese, possibly. But like, you know, like, it was just, I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's just like not perceived as something that's a career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen firsthand their mom and sister are there in the audience, like waving.
My mom is like my number one fan.
They're
like,
so cute. Yeah.
I actually don't think she's like missed a gig unless she was like sick. Which is like not a lot. Like she used to go to like come to my buskings. Like I would be there like 6 hours and she'd be there the whole time listening to like the same songs over and over again.
Oh, that's so nice. And she's paying each time to go to these gigs too.
Yeah.
Get, like a family discount. Or
sometimes I can put them as a guest, but you know, sometimes not. So
that's really nice.
She's supportive, which is lovely. I think that's like also a privilege.
Yeah. I see. Are you okay?
No, I have a story about someone who I went on a few dates with who was in a band, but I'll save that for the end.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to it.
Just all the memories are coming back to me.
Frankie's like, your time as a groupie.
No.
Do you have groupies? Are those a thing in Japan?
I personally, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say group. I have fans that come to my gigs, which is really, really nice. Another thing about Japan is the gender divide on artists is very funny. So if you're a male singer-songwriter, you would have female audience, and then vice versa. If you're a female singer-songwriter, you have male fans. And then because I am the way that I am, I think most people are like, I don't know what's going on there. And so like I have kind of an even split of male and female fans, which is nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think some male fans of other female singer-songwriters are just there for looks.
Yeah.
They're just like pretty lady, pretty girl. I can talk to them, you know, interact with them. So I think that's a really scary aspect of being a female singer-songwriter is the interaction of some men like that, not all men, but always a man. And then the kind of opposite of that, I've talked to male singer-songwriters, and then women usually come together. They come as a group with their friends and stuff like that. But within French groups, there are kind of rivalries or, you know, a bit of tension or, you know, so they may fight or whatever. And then some have like kind of very personal feelings about the artist of just like, oh, you didn't pay attention to me much today, or like,
you know, that parasocial kind of relationship.
Yeah, big parasocial relationship. Like you spent more time with her than me, and like talking to her and blah, blah, blah. Less scary with women, still scary, but then men don't quite like fight like that. They don't fight with each other. They're very like, I'm going to talk to this lady. So there's not really like kind of, but there is kind of, you know, stalkery, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
we did talk about recently.
Yeah, you guys did. So like, so it's, I don't know, it has its both. Has its ups and downs. Yeah,
you're so right. There's been a couple of buskers I've seen, like young women usually, and the people who are standing and watching her, I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that's not the demographic she's looking for.
Yeah,
you know? But
unfortunately,
that's too attentive.
Yeah, unfortunately, that will always start as the base fans, I think, and then once they gain like younger fans or like female fans, that's like another hump that they get over. They're like, okay, cool, it's actually like for my music rather than my looks. Whereas the West is a lot different. Like, I think it's like, if you're a girl group, then girls will follow. If you're a boy group, still girls will follow. And then guys are like, you know, the metal and the rock and the rap and stuff like that. And then the female pop stars are like, you know, queer demographic and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit, I remember bringing my Australian friends to my female singer-songwriter gigs, and they were just like, why are they all dudes? And I was like, I don't know how to explain that to you. Like, in a heteronormative world, that makes the most sense to me. That I'm just like, okay, a female artist, men will follow female artists. Where it's not that. In the West, it's a lot more nuanced, I guess, in that. But in here, it's like,
so
guy, girl, girl, guy. Like, it's very that.
Especially, you know, with all the idol groups, you kind of notice in the audience, it's all these like oji-san or something, like waving, you know. But like, can you imagine that happening at, I don't know, a Sabrina Carpenter concert?
Just like all just like straight dudes, like, I get wet at the thought of you. Like,
have you ever tried this one?
Have you ever tried this one? Yeah, I mean, that would be funny, but it's not the demographic. It's like women and queer men.
So true. Yeah. Huh. Okay, my next question, do you have a favorite song you've written? And if so, why? Or does it change?
That's interesting. Yeah. I think I will always have a soft spot for Afterglow because that's my first song as a solo artist. I was in a band before that in Sydney. So that's like a soft spot that I'm just like, yeah, this was a good song. But Miss You, I think, is great as like, I'm just like, that'll always hype up the crowd. So I do love Miss You, I think. I think that's like, I think when I talk to most people, they're like, oh, this one's a banger. And I'm like, okay, that's nice.
It is a fun one. I like that
Thank
one
you.
a lot too.
So yeah, I think it's either Afterglow or Miss You for now. But, you know.
Are those, because, you know, you also have music videos. Oh, sorry. Hit the mic. You also have music videos as well. Are those music videos for those songs also your favorite? Or, you know, what is your favorite, I guess, music video you've ever made too? Because, like, me personally, Roll With It, like all the skateboarders and stuff, it's really cool. It's got a cool vibe. Yeah. I don't know, like.
I do. Oh, sorry, Jesus. Keep hitting the mics.
We're both big hand talkers.
Big hand talkers. Italian.
Sorry.
I don't know. I like all of my music videos. I don't really have.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite out of them. Like they have so many memories attached to each and every one of them. Like Afterglow is great because I was in a music university, but I like hired. There was a dance component to that university as well, and so I hired my dancer friends, my girlfriends in it as well. So that was like really nice, really like low budget. But then I love Miss You and I love Roll With It and I like Roseville Girls as well. So I don't know. They're all nice.
They're all nice.
They're all
fun.
just
Sorry.
like they're all just in my brain. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is what it looks like in my brain, and I think it's like nicely executed through all of them.
Yeah. So what's that like? You have the image in your head, and then do you hire a director and you say, "This is what I want to do," and it just goes from there? Or
Yeah.
How much?
Definitely. I don't know. Something like with Zoning Out, especially, that one, I was like talking to a friend and my friend was like, oh, there's these art hotels. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like looking through the rooms and I was like, this one's sick. Like this one looks exactly like what, if I were to draw this song, it would be this room. And it was this beautiful, what's her name? I'm so sorry. Sato Sugamoto, I think that's her name, the artist. And it's like these ropes like that are like, I don't know how they're put together, but it's like kind of like almost like a cloud, like a dream-like kind of thing. And that's kind of what Zoning Out is about because I wrote it in Corona and I was just like, I don't know what every day feels like anymore. So sometimes I see it and I'm like, okay, that's the vibe. But with like something with like Roll With It, I always had this thing where I was like, I want to like involve skaters in my videos because skateboarding was like, it became really big in Japan because of the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I also had like a lot of skater friends as well. Somehow all my foreigner friends skate. So all skaters know each other. And I was like, I really want to do that. And then I was like, roll with it. Perfect.
Yeah, that's
like,
kind of what I was
hell
thinking
yeah.
of getting at. Yeah.
So I was like, that's perfect. And then with Miss You, I was like, I think I always try and find a location because I think my songs aren't very like nature-y. That's when I do artist photos and stuff like that. I'm just like, I need like concrete. I need like building. I need form rather than like leaves and woods and stuff like that. So I always try and find a location and then it usually it revolves around that.
I see. And I think this is a big thing in K-pop culture. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you know how singers or idols in K-pop, I guess they have different eras of their looks and hair and things like that.
Yes.
So
I do know what you mean.
From the like since I've known you, you've had pink hair.
Right.
I think it was lime green at some point, and then now it is blue.
Now it's blue, yes.
Do you go through different
my eras,
of, like,
my
your
colored
creative
hair
process,
eras?
or like what you're working on or is that just Kanke Nai?
No, I don't think it's dependent on anything, to be honest. Like when I was, my mum doesn't allow me to get tattoos or piercings. And then, all my white friends are like, just do it. I'm like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like, and now I don't want any. Like, I don't think I suit piercings or tattoos or anything. So my mum was like, the only way you can like adjust your appearance is your hair. And she was like, once you turn 18, you can do anything with your hair. And I was like, hell yeah. So I got like, I don't know, like brown highlights or something like that at the start. And then I started to like get into the manic panic of it all. And so I think it's really just dependent on what I haven't done in a while because I haven't done blue in a while. And then usually I always go back to blonde. I'm like, blonde's the cleanest. Yeah. And it's awesome because it's really hard to coordinate pink hair or lime green hair. Sometimes but blue is okay sometimes because that's like the color that I usually go for. But it's really just dependent on how like the vibes that day.
The mood, whatever you're feeling. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'm like thinking too much into it, but we're not gonna expect like a moody, like a sad moody album from you soon.
Are you feeling blue? Is that why your hair is blue?
Yeah. No, I wish it had more significant meaning, but it's more just like I just need to change something.
Yeah. Well, it looks sick.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Curious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I wish I could get piercings or tattoos, but
if you could get a piercing, what piercing?
I always wanted to get an industrial.
I've had that.
You have?
It like hurts like a bitch to heal because it's 2 holes and it's such a thick bar compared to you know, normal piercing in your cartilage. But yeah, I do miss it sometimes. It looked really sick. I had it for a couple years, but I actually took it out when I came to teach English in Japan because I just assumed like, no one in
very
my
confronting piercing.
elementary school is gonna. I had like blonde hair too, and I was like, I don't know, it was piercing.
It's too much.
Like it was too much for them. Yeah. But it is a sick piercing. Yeah, that would look really cool.
It will never happen.
No,
it will unfortunately never happen. I think my mum will slap the piercing out of me. Like
really?
You know the Scott Pilgrim movie where it's just like you slap the highlights out of it. I think that's what happened with me and my mum. Like I think the piercing would just fly off. My tattoos will fly off or something like that.
Speaking of that movie, you've got a Halloween costume, I think, this month. It's October if you want to be, like, I don't know. You could be Knives Chow or Ramona Flowers if you're going for, like, a colored hair thing.
I think I'm more of a Michael Cera type. But I don't know. I don't know. I find Halloween really difficult. Really? I don't think I've, like, ever properly dressed up as anything, to be honest.
Because it just wasn't, I don't know, happening around you back in Sydney, or
your
family just never got into it?
What were we doing in Halloween? When I was a kid, I was always a skull. Like I was always a skeleton, which is so like boy of me. I was just like, I'm gonna be a skull. And so my mum used to be a makeup artist, so she used to do.
Okay, that's sick.
She did that for me. But I don't know. I think there was like a lack of like Asian representation as well. Yeah. Where I was just like, I don't know what looks
so
like
many
me.
Things you could be.
There's only so many things where I could be, which is not racist, which is very small.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think I saw a lot of me reflected in like my media, or I don't think. Yeah. I don't know. And Sydney, we do a lot of house parties. Mm-hmm. So that was the vibe going in. But yeah, I don't think I was ever really anything. I think I was always like an animal or something.
I think I was Pikachu.
Yeah. I think that was just like the most tangible thing for me, rather than like a person.
I just like you stand. If you have any pictures, show us. Like you're just like standing like.
I don't know. I was like 8 probably, so I don't know. I can't remember.
But your mom was a makeup artist, so she's, I guess, familiar with, I don't know, having a career in art and the creative industry. Is that why you think she was like so open with it, or because that's not a very, I guess, you would call conventional job for Japanese people to have?
My mom's grandma was really strict. Like that's all I hear about. Mm-hmm. And so I think she saw my grandma, so her mom, and then had like, you know, children, was just like, I just want them to be like free and like let them do anything. And so that was like very un-Asian of her. I used to do like taekwondo, and I was like, I don't want to do taekwondo anymore. And she was like, okay, like that's fine. Mm-hmm. And so I think, she saw me doing music. She's like, just do it. Like, you know, you only have one life, so just do what you like, which is nice.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
We love a supportive mom.
We love a supportive mom. And then like, I think like all my like kind of family do have like unconventional jobs. My dad is an opal trader.
Oh. That was like so random.
I know. Most people are like, what's an opal? But it's a type of gem.
Yeah.
And
October birthstone, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And hidden gem.
Yeah, and then there's a specific type of opal called the black opal that you can only mine in Australia. Okay. Called it's in Lightning Ridge, where my dad lives. I do have a YouTube video about that where I go visit him, and it's like fucking 10 hours away. So yeah, it's all very like, they both have very unconventional jobs. Mm-hmm. So I guess it was just like, I don't know, pursuing music was probably not a strange thing.
Yeah, I guess it was pretty normal to you, or not. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Out of the blue for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for, I don't know, other people pursuing music in Japan?
In Japan, as a foreign artist?
I guess, yeah. Since we're staying on that theme, let's start there first, yeah.
Give up. No, just kidding.
Well, that's a really difficult question. I don't know. I think if you don't know Japanese, I think that would be really, really difficult. I think just in general, as a foreigner, if you don't know Japanese, it is really difficult to live here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you need like a visa and stuff too. So how would you do that as an up-and-coming artist?
Yeah.
You would need another like stable job.
Yeah.
And then pursue it on the side at first.
Exactly,
or like marriage visa or something.
Mm-hmm. Marriage visa, yeah. So if you don't know Japanese, I think that'll be really difficult. Japan is like such a hard country to assimilate to. Mm-hmm. I think you will both be very onto that. So no Japanese. I think I don't know how to say that. And then make CDs.
Make CDs,
make physical merch.
Yeah.
Connect with fans. Yeah, genuinely, I guess. Yeah. I guess in terms of like treating fans and audience isn't too different from the West, I don't think. But I think pursuing music in general is hard. Pursuing music in Japan is hard because there are so many people. I think there are such beautiful pockets of music and the scene and so many niches around that. So I think find your niche, I think. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Great advice. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
No, I was just thinking about Chris Hart.
Yes.
Oh, the
I
singer.
think
I
singer.
love you. I love you.
I need you. That guy.
Yeah.
We're mutuals on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He
a
follows
singer,
the
right?
podcast account too.
Yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
just
cool.
thinking because he sings all in Japanese.
Yeah.
too, so
That's true. And he has a lot of fans.
kind of an
That's
anomaly,
true.
I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Crystal K is one of them as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
I think,
that's
yeah,
true.
being a foreign person, knowing Japanese.
Yeah.
Is Crystal K not Japanese at all? She's not like.
I think
half or
I think she's half.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. I like her. Also, Aoyama Teruma.
Yeah.
Her.
Love her.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
her.
yeah. So.
Yeah, and like I guess Boa, I guess, but that was like a long time ago.
Yeah. So it's possible.
It is totally
there's space
possible,
for it, yeah,
but
for
you
sure.
you gotta speak Japanese.
Yeah. Holding space for
holding space. But yeah, I think that's the number one tip is that you gotta speak Japanese.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to do that.
Makes
That's
sense.
true.
Yeah, otherwise I don't think people can connect very well because
That's-
most Japanese people don't know English.
That's true. So
That's difficult.
I know you said you're starting to make more songs in Japanese to cater to the Japanese audience.
Yeah.
But when you are still writing songs in English, are you kind of simplifying your English lyrics a little bit more too, so the Japanese audience can also relate to it, or are you just sticking with this is my thought in English and then here's the Japanese as well? You know what I mean? Like, are you adjusting the English in any way, or no?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's like
This
you
is
produce
what's
is what you
natural.
produce.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
what's naturally coming out.
Yeah.
I guess I don't make things. I don't think my lyrics are too complicated to understand. But I think my fans are people who are kind of interested in that kind of realm. I think just like a bit of Western. If they do listen to a bit of Western music. But yeah, no. Even if I did simplify it, I don't think they would understand either. My biggest pet peeve is like I did my like university thesis on this, but why Japanese people use English in their songs when they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Especially Japan.
Yeah.
That's just like
I
our
agree.
life.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just like
yeah,
our life.
yeah.
But just like especially because Japanese people are so precious about lyrics. Like you'll see lyrics on the screen on music TV shows because they're like, this is like, understand this song because this is what it means, and then they put stuff like come on baby America and you're like what does that mean, like and then other stuff that makes grammatically no sense, and I'm like, but why, like why? It makes me very like frustrated when I'm just like, you can just consult like one person that speaks English and it'll make a lot more sense and a lot more broader instead of just like a mishmash of English words together. That makes me a little bit frustrated because they think that English is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they're like, okay, let's put English in there. And I'm like, no, you just need to just talk to like one person that can speak English and they'll kind of correct it just a little, just even grammatically. Like not even song-wise. That's a really frustrating part about Japan, I think.
Yeah, I think that's something Japanese artists really need to, I guess, they don't need to work on this. They don't need to have English in their songs at all. But for example, like K-pop has mastered it down.
When
it comes to singing not only in English, but then having a Korean version, a Japanese version, like multilingual versions. Yes. And so,
that's
if
crazy.
Japan is trying to do that, they gotta like, consult someone.
They gotta just ask me. Like, well, even when I see like signs like and stuff in Japan, I mean, that's a whole like stereotype of Japan is, we have bad English and stuff. But even like formal signs or like, like safety signs, I'm just like, I'm like, Google Translate's not even that bad, I don't think. Like
these days, no.
It's like pretty good. But I'm just like, you're trying to convey information. Like, why is this bad? Like, why can't I read this? Like, I don't know. That's really frustrating. But that's, whatever. Okay. Japan.
Well, I think one of my last questions I have, you don't have to share if you don't want to, but like, what is your, I guess, best experience you've had making music or performing, and your worst? Do you have like a best memory and a worst memory?
Ooh, that's really hard.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I haven't like had a lot of bad memories, which I think is really good. I have a lot of weird busking stories where people just like come up to you and they just like want to talk, or they're very aggressive. They're like, you're too loud or whatever, or they just like butt into you and stuff like that. But I haven't had a lot of you know what? Like I have a lot of like experience with like sound guys in the West, and they're always dudes, and they're always crabby, like really crabby, and they're like really condescending. There was when I was in the band, I was like, we were gigging a lot, but every like sound guy was just like, when you had a good sound guy, I still remember him. I'm like, he was sick. It was rare. He was rare, but in Japan, compare it to one of my first gigs, I had a lady sound guy. When I was just like, lady sound guy, a female sound engineer, and I was like, I didn't even have a word for that. Like it was just like sound guys.
That's so true. Yeah.
And everyone's so nice, and like they're just like, oh, okay, like this is your set, cool. Like, can you mic check 1 2 3, like blah blah blah. They were just like so nice and polite. Which was like such a like culture shock for me. I was like, no way. Like, why is this so nice and efficient? And like no egos are involved. And like this is so lovely. So that's probably like the big like worst experience in terms of like dealing with like egos from staff. I was like, that's not your place. Like you're here to like, coordinate everyone. You're not supposed to like stick your ego in my face, being like, well, your guitar sounds like this. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, what?
They're probably salty because they're the sound guy.
Yeah. There's a bit of definitely a bit of
just
saltiness.
Kidding. Maybe,
Bit of saltiness there. My best one, I don't know. Like every gig, I learn something new, I think, and like I'm just like, okay, like it's always like just stacking experience. So. I don't know. My time being in the band, and we had like a full house, and like all my friends were singing along. Like that was a really good experience for me. But then seeing like people I don't know like singing my songs, I was like, this is also really cool. So I think almost every gig has like a bit of like a plus, to be honest.
Nice. So you kind of get to experience that feeling of, I can continue or I want to keep doing this. Yeah,
like
and everything.
Every venue is new. Every audience is new. Every night is different. So I think, I don't know. I don't think there's like because I think that's going to come, like eventually.
Oh, are you worried about that?
No. Like I think it'll like I think I'll have I'll be like, oh, this was awesome, and then a few months later or whatever, I'll have another thing where I'm like, this is awesome as well. So I think it's just life, right? Like the best day of my life. I can't really think of it because I have many.
Deep.
What a great life.
Yeah. Would you like to talk about your ex?
Oh, yeah.
Your ex date?
Sure. Yeah, there was a guy in Tokyo who I went out with a few times. So he was a band member. He was the singer of a band. Okay. So you know how they say that you shouldn't date the 3 Bs in Japan?
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Bartender, band, Biyoshi. Like a beautician? Hairdresser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is so funny for me because like hairdresser is like such a like gay job in the West. Yeah. Whereas here it's like you're charai. Yeah, you're like a bit of a player. And I'm like, hairdresser? Like, you just cut people's hair. I don't know how that makes you.
I think it's very, I guess it can be very
Right,
intimate the way
personal,
you
yeah.
feel like,
You have a lot of
yeah,
interactions with a lot of ladies, so
That's
a lot of
true.
chances.
you have to know how to talk to the ladies, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
true.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bartender makes sense. Band members
Yeah,
also
yeah,
makes
but yeah,
sense.
the hairdresser is always
Yeah, it's a bit of
What?
a a bit of a
But
culture
it
difference.
makes sense here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
it
all-
makes sense here.
They're all players apparently,
Yeah.
and maybe don't have a lot of money. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Called out.
that's what they say, the 3 Bs.
yeah.
But yeah, so I went on a few dates with this guy, and he was nice, but I just wasn't really into it romantically.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he liked me a lot more than I liked him.
Uh-huh.
And then he did write a song about me.
Ah, where is it? Where can we listen?
Well, he took it off of YouTube. It was
it
was a good song.
You broke his heart.
it was a good song though. I wish it was still up. It was like, Miserina, pretty liar,
Oh,
bad girl.
Oh, you
I
remember
was feeling
it.
a way about you.
I like the song.
Well, I mean, I guess the benefit of being in Japan is if you tell me his name later off the camera, we can probably find one of his CDs at Book Off or something.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't
it
remember the name of the
exists.
band.
Oh, you like out of sight, out of mind, kick this guy out of your memory.
I could go back to old messages or something,
Yeah.
try to find it. I don't know.
It's such a stereotype, hey, getting a song written by you
Yeah.
by like a musician.
Yeah. I was proud, but then they took it off YouTube. Why did you do that?
Have you written songs about anyone personal in your life?
Oh,
Or-
100%.
Any
Yeah.
vengeful song?
All of my songs are about someone.
Someone.
Yeah, definitely. They're
Okay.
all about my
Okay,
ex-girlfriends.
write one
and my
about
girlfriend.
Conbini.
I'll write a jingle for Conbini.
Can you?
Actually, maybe we
Yeah,
can. Maybe I'll do that.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
Let's all
kinda
do
cute.
it together.
Yeah.
Yes, that might be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll think about it.
Nice. Now we got a project to do after
Yeah,
this.
no, all my songs are about my girlfriends or my ex-girlfriends.
Okay, so
usually
love and life and everything.
love, life, despair,
Mm.
breaking up. Yeah, mostly about breaking up. But then I've been with my girlfriend for like 8 years now, so
Right.
no breaking up songs. So I have
Yeah.
to kind of
You're
pivot.
gonna make them up.
I gotta
Yeah.
make them up.
Yeah.
I gotta, yeah. So I kind of base it off like my friends' breakup stories or like,
Oh, okay. Well,
like
that-
kind of like a movie or whatever.
Yeah, that's like a smart, creative, I don't know, process, I guess. Like, isn't that why people are kind of dogging on Taylor Swift's new album? Because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, she's like in a happy relationship now. There's like nothing for her to sing about or something. I don't know. That's just,
It
I
happens,
heard
man.
that Swifties kind of scare me, not gonna lie. But, yeah, who knows? Don't quote me on that. But yeah.
It's hard.
No comment.
It's
Yeah.
hard to write songs when you're happy.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's hard to be creative when you're
So you need to
happy.
be sad.
I gotta be sad. I gotta
Why aren't
be.
you
I gotta be. Yeah, but a lot of angsty songs
Mm.
when I was starting off.
Mhm.
A lot of breakups. Yeah.
We love that though. I mean, they've resulted, I don't know, with every, what do you call, bad thing, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mhm.
Something good came
Yeah.
out of it, I guess,
Silver
right?
lining.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice way to like process my feelings and just be like a nice like summary of like,
Mhm.
oh, this is how I felt about this like
Mhm.
certain event in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you working on anything now or anything you would like to plug or share? Where can we find you? All that good stuff.
I would like to release an EP next year again,
Ooh,
but we'll see
yeah,
how
that
my
should be-
process goes.
Mhm. Do you have a deadline or something? Like, what does that
No.
look like for just whenever you're feeling like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
but
ready
it's
to make
it's
a-
usually, I mean, like with the TikTok era, everyone's like, you should release a song every 2
Oh,
months,
that's
which is
so
just like
true. People move on so quick,
which is just
I'm
like
sure stressful.
ridiculous. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. So, but I do want to like kind of release singles every so often.
Mhm.
But then yeah, writing something like an EP is like much of a longer task.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Well, I look
Gotta
forward
focus.
to it.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Nice. When is your next show, and where can people find you if they want to check out your music?
When does this come out?
We'll see.
We don't know.
Actually, yeah.
Before the end of the year.
If you have a show that's maybe in like late November, December,
Right.
farther into the future, the better. Yeah.
When I upload the episode, I will put it in the description.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
in the
you, yeah.
description because I think I have a few gigs lined up, but I don't think I can announce them yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
think maybe. So yeah, but then I'll link my Spotify and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. And you're on
I'll let you
Instagram,
know.
TikTok,
Yeah,
everything.
All that jazz. So yeah, just follow me and it'll be all updated.
Yeah, just follow them.
Yeah, just follow me.
We don't need to relay that information. Then
Yeah,
you'll know.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's all I had.
Thank you so much for coming
Woo!
on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. All right. Well, everyone go listen to Satsuki's new songs or albums. Everything is wonderful. So
Thank
yeah.
you.
All right.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Woohoo!
You just got to roll with it. You just got to roll with it. You just got to roll